Some cartoons make us laugh, some make us think, but every now and then, one absolutely breaks us. Adventure Time was always more than it seemed. On the surface, it was a world of kingdoms, interesting characters, and stories that bounced between silly, strange, and absolutely surreal. But beneath the jokes and candy-colored chaos, it carried something heavier. Most episodes are wild and whimsical, but then came an episode so unexpected, so quietly devastating. It stopped fans in their tracks. The episode is I Remember You. But what exactly happened in this episode that hit so hard it left such a massive emotional crater in the fandom, and why does it still hurt today? The episode opens in the Ice Kingdom, where the Ice King is performing a bizarre little concert for Gunter. He's wearing a wig and singing a parody of Marceline's Fry song, clearly obsessed with her music, even if he doesn't understand why. Gunter stares lovingly, and the Ice King decides, out of nowhere, that Marceline should help him write a song to impress princesses. Already the sadness creeps in. He doesn't remember the connection he once had with Marceline, but he still clings to her voice, her art, her presence. Instinct without memory. He goes to the library and tells Gunter that girls are drawn to guys with tortured pasts, and that he has a tortured past. Then he immediately says he doesn't know, and he doesn't remember his past. Then he flies down to the past room with Gunter and pulls out his old scrapbook, saying it's filled with emotional, powerful stuff he can use for lyrical inspiration. The pages are still damp with old tears, he says, and just casually rips them out and flies off to find Marceline. Meanwhile, Finn and Jake spot him from a distance and assume he's up to his usual nonsense. So of course they decide to intervene. An adventure is an adventure, right? Then we see Marceline at home playing her bass. Then she hears Ice King outside. Her mood immediately shifts. She's annoyed, angry, and tells him not to come around. But he doesn't leave. He gets on his knees and begs her to write a song with him, and then floats into her home uninvited. She tells him to leave, but he insists he needs to play the song so far. Whilst trying to set up his equipment, he gets completely tangled in his chords, and he then tries to hum the song for Marceline. This clumsy moment should be funny, but it's not. It's honestly sad. He's literally wrapped up in confusion and chaos, trying to create something meaningful from a past he doesn't remember. Finn and Jake burst in, ready to save Marceline, assuming she's under attack, but they find the Ice King wrapped up, and as they grab him to kick him out, Marceline surprises them. She tells them that Ice King can stay because they're writing a song together, and asks them to leave. Finn and Jake are confused, but leave, not understanding the emotional undercurrent. See, even the heroes don't get it. To them, Ice King is just a nuisance. The two begin working on a song. Ice King hands her his scrapbook pages and tells her to build lyrics from them. Marceline plugs in her omnichord and starts playing. The song begins light. He sings about all the princesses, one by one, in a silly tone, but slowly, his words begin slipping into something darker. He says he's so alone that he needs pretty much anyone. His voice becomes sad. Broken, he sings, "Won't someone tell me what's wrong with me? Anybody." Panicked, he starts firing ice bolts into the ceiling, tears streaming down his face. This is where the illusion drops. It's not a funny song anymore. This is the loneliness of a man who doesn't even know why he's hurting. Marceline asks him to stop, but he says it's just getting good and starts begging out loud for the princess. Marceline tackles him to stop the outburst. He says he just wants to be loved and pushes her off him. He quickly apologizes, ashamed for pushing her, and hides in the kitchen, his head pressed against the fridge, and then climbs on top of it. It's a quiet, raw moment. He doesn't know what came over him. Marceline goes to grab an apple, but emotionally exhausted, she just sits in front of the fridge and drops the apple, which starts the music, and she begins singing her feelings out. At first, she insults him, calling him annoying, pitiful, crazy. But then she admits something. She's actually glad to see him. This is everything. In one breath, she expresses her anger, her grief, and her love. She misses Simon, and Ice King is the only piece of him she has left. Ice King asks if she likes him, and when she says yes, he excitedly asks for a hug. She gives it to him. For a second, it's warm, real. But then he tries to kiss her. Just like that, it breaks. The affection is misread. He thinks it's love, romantic love, but he doesn't understand that this moment is about loss. Marceline pulls back, furious. She yells at him. She calls him by his real name, Simon, and asks why does he even come see her when he doesn't even know her or remember who he is. He says he does. Frantically, he laughs it off and insists he's a lyricist, pointing to his pages as proof as he flies them in the air. They're random scraps, a takeout menu, a receipt, a newspaper, but they're all real. They're traces of who he used to be. It's almost as if he remembers, even though he doesn't. She finds a newspaper clipping. It's a photo of him before the war, holding the Enchiridion back when he was still Simon Petrikov. She tells him that it was him, but he just looks confused. It means nothing to him. Then she finds the photo. A picture of herself as a little girl. She shows it to him, but still nothing. On the back is a message written in Simon's hand. Back when he was still in control, immediately Ice King asks if it's good lyrics. He runs to the keyboard and tells her to sing. So she does. She starts to sing the message aloud. Marceline, is it? Just you and me in the wreckage of the world? That must be so confusing for a little girl. Ice King joins her on drums. He is absolutely thrilled by the melody. He has no idea he's performing the last lucid thoughts of his former self. He's literally harmonizing with his own grief, playing backup to the man he no longer remembers being. It's beautiful, and it's devastating. The song tells the story of Simon's descent. He knew the crown was changing him. He knew he was slipping away, but he also knew Marceline needed him. He begged her to forgive him for the things he'd do when he no longer remembered her, for the way he'd eventually vanish. This isn't just a letter. It's a last act of love. A man losing his mind, he loves Marceline with everything he had in him, so he tried with the last pieces of him to leave behind one final piece of himself so she wouldn't feel abandoned. Ice King listens to the song and casually says, "Wow, I wrote that?" He's impressed with himself, and Marceline is breaking down in front of him, and he has no idea why. That's what memory loss does. It erases the pain for the person suffering, but doubles it for the one who remembers. Marceline shows him another picture, another note. She's desperate now, trying to pull Simon out of him, but he just sings the lyrics. All he wants to do is write his song. He doesn't understand what's happening. He doesn't remember anything, and Marceline realizes he just might never. "Marceline, I can feel myself slipping away." He sings and sings and sings. She joins him with her bass. They sing the final verse together. "This magic keeps me alive, but it's making me crazy." They sing and sing, "Please forgive me for whatever I do when I don't remember you." Outside, Finn and Jake are watching through binoculars. Jake asks what's going on. Finn, stunned, just whispers, "I have no idea." The real tragedy is invisible to those who weren't part of it. The world sees the Ice King as a clown, a weirdo, and a creep, but only Marceline knows what he used to be. The real Ice King, the real Simon. And then, the flashback. A ruined city after the Mushroom War. A little girl, crying alone. It's Marceline. And there he is, Simon. Not yet fully transformed, he finds her, wipes her tears, walks into a ruined store, and brings her a gift, a teddy bear, Hambo. That bear that we have seen a few times in the series so far is more than a toy to Marceline. It's a symbol of care in a world falling apart. It's Simon's promise that she wouldn't be alone. It's his promise to always be with her. And we see that because, back in the present, Marceline finds herself singing next to someone who indeed doesn't remember making that promise, but somehow still keeps finding her and always showing up. What makes I Remember You so devastating isn't just its story, it's what the story represents. On the surface, it's about the Ice King and Marceline writing a song together, but underneath, it's about something much sadder, the slow erosion of identity and the heartbreak of watching someone you love forget who they are and who you were to them. The Ice King isn't just a strange old man possessed by magic, he's a metaphor for something very real. He's a symbol of Alzheimer's, dementia, and the many forms of memory loss that turn once vibrant people into strangers. His crown functions like a disease. It keeps him alive, but at the cost of his mind. It erases his past, blurs his relationships, and transforms his pain into confusion. He wanders through life without understanding why he feels so alone, why he's drawn to certain people, or why certain songs bring tears to his eyes. He's forgotten his own heartbreak, but it still lives in his body. And Marceline, she's all of us. She's the child, the friend, the caregiver who has to watch someone fade away. Her grief is ongoing. She doesn't get closure. She doesn't get to mourn Simon's death because he isn't dead. He's standing right in front of her, smiling and clueless. That's what makes it so haunting. Her sadness doesn't come from absence. It comes from the presence of someone who no longer recognizes her. When she sings Simon's own words back to him, the words he wrote when he knew he was slipping away, it's the most heartbreaking moment in the entire show. He plays along on the drums, enjoying the rhythm, completely unaware that he's harmonizing with the most painful confession of his life. Like it's a cool lyric, not the cry of a man losing himself and asking for forgiveness to one of the people he loved and cared for the most, his Marceline. It's a kind of emotional torment that many people who've lost loved ones to dementia will recognize instantly. The emotional connection is there, but the person, the history, the memories, the shared life has vanished. Marceline's sadness isn't loud, it's quiet, lived in and exhausted. She's been watching him vanish for years. She remembers the man who protected her when the world was in ruins, the man who cared for her and protected her like he was her own father, the man who found her crying after the apocalypse and handed her hambo, a moment of pure kindness in a world collapsing around her. That toy became her tether, a symbol of comfort, security, and the last piece of Simon that she could hold on to. Hambo isn't just a toy, it's memory made physical. It's the last time she saw him whole, before he was stripped away. And every time she looks at Ice King now, she's looking for that man. But all she sees is someone who doesn't know what they meant to each other. And it just keeps hurting her, which is why she asks him to stay away, because he remembers nothing. He has become this crazy old man, but she remembers everything. Ice King doesn't remember the pain, but Marceline has to carry all of it. And what makes it worse is that Ice King still feels drawn to her. He visits her. He wants her help, but it's instinct, not memory. He doesn't know why he feels safe with her. He just does, which somehow makes it even sadder. Marceline continues to love someone who can't love her back the same way anymore, and the Ice King continues to unknowingly chase echoes of a life he doesn't remember losing. So when we hear that lyric,
"Please forgive me for whatever I do when I don't remember you,"
it lands like a quiet explosion, because that's the entire episode. That's their entire relationship. I Remember You isn't just sad, it's honest. It doesn't turn away from the pain, it faces it, sings through it, and leaves us in silence at the end. No resolution, no magical fix. Just a girl and a broken man, connected by memories only one of them still has. Let me know your thoughts on how this episode made you feel, and be sure to subscribe if you want to hear me talk about more episodes.